Big story, the State of the Nation address happening later on tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, will be broadcast on SABC News, Channel 404, as well as on SABC 2. So I think it's important to get the perspective of certain analysts in terms of their expectations. So we'll try one more time. There we go. Professor Lesiba Tefo. Professor, thank you very much indeed once again for your time. Okay, let's just talk very quickly about your expectations. Look, there was a number of promises from the last State of the Nation address made by President Cyril Ramaphosa. What has been some of his achievements and maybe some of his shortfalls?
Look, I think let's speak to the achievement. That he has managed to create an environment that suggests that something positive is happening, that this is a man worthy of a hearing, this is a man worthy of giving a chance and trusting that things could be different. That the climate in and by itself is a big plus for me. Now, what he put in place in relation to state-owned enterprises, right, is also a plus in the sense that there were too many issues, concerns and complaints not acted upon. We haven't seen the result thereof, but at least we have seen mechanisms in place with a clear intent to try to deal with corruption and to try to build capacity and to try to deal with the perceptions and the concerns that people are raising. He seems to be responsive, and that in itself, it may not be time to take stock of the outcome, but at least the winds seem to be blowing in the right direction to that extent.
Prof, what about the minimum wage issue? Can the president count this as a victory, a feather in his cap in terms of an achievement?
Oh yes, I think it has been on the agenda. Labor brokerage and minimum wage, they've been on the agenda for a long time. What will come out of that is moot. But in and by itself, for me, it's a plus for him. And indeed, it's a plus for others. But I can also hear the other side that says, if I cannot afford it, then I will not hire. The least I can afford is what I have now. And it does bring bread and butter, however small, to my employer, to my employee. Should I get rid of him or her in honor of this minimum wage, or should I not? It's a contentious one, but I think it's a plus to the extent that we have the legislation. But if you were to ensure that it is applied to the letter, it might have unintended consequences or detrimental effects.
What about land expropriation without compensation, Professor? How can the president navigate through that issue? It's an important issue. It's an emotive issue, a topical issue. How do you think the president will approach this issue in the State of the Nation address?
This is one area where I know in the hearts of his heart, he doesn't agree with the party he leads. Whenever he comments on the lead question, he is at variance with his own party. When he comments on this one, he will put at least adjectives to try to qualify and to negate almost what is said. Hence, when the Manis say and the Secretary General say, we don't seem to be implementing the decisions of Nazareth, among others, they refer to that. Because he's not convinced that the populist approach is the one that he should be presiding over. Hence, he's procrastinating in finalizing at least the amendment to the Constitution. The process is on, but certainly in the heart of the heart, he knows it's not the right thing to do, and I'm sure he will prevaricate to the extent possible. Because if and when people are honest and sincere, Section 25 in and by itself does provide for expropriation without land, without compensation. And it was Mhlante who told us, had we heard the political will, we certainly would have done the right thing because there is enabling legislation already. That said, I don't hear the debate that says the land expropriated in the past 25 years, what did it yield? What did we do with it? Are we proud of that duty that we at least retrieved from others and passed it on? I think the examples are not good enough to write home about.
Professor Lesiba Tefo, thank you very much indeed for your time. All, I guess, will be revealed tonight at 7 p.m. live from Cape Town. We do apologize for the technical issues and we're fast running out of time. So thank you very much indeed, Professor, for your time. Okay, that's a wrap from myself, Blaine Herman. Have yourself a great day. On Point is up next. Take care. Bye-bye.